Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing a world tour. Now in this world tour we're going to be going around and just pretty much visiting all the farms and nooks and crannies. It's pretty much like a giant showcase video. So this video may be a bit long and may be split up into sections. Just a warning there. Okay, so we're going to be starting my world tour off in the old section of my map. This is pre 1.7 generated. I've forgotten when it was actually generated. It was 2 years ago. This section of the map was generated, and halfway through my main Let's Play series, I actually moved away from this area and built different farms, and my building style sort of changed as well, which is fantastic. You'll get to see it all. So we will be starting in this old section, then we'll be going to the new section. The new section's a 1.7 plus generated section with all the new biomes, and I built a brand new base, an ocean base actually out there, which we'll be taking a look at towards pretty much the end of the video. Okay, so I'll get off of here and we'll get started. Alrighty then guys, we're going to be starting with my very first base. So I spawned over there about 100, 200 blocks in that direction there, and I sort of wandered around when I first generated the map, and I spotted these mountains, and I decided I was going to build in the side of this one here, and I pretty much put a hole in the side of the mountain, as they're called, a Hobbit Hole, which is just pretty much a hole in the side of the mountain or a hole in the ground with some furnaces and a bed, and it's your Hobbit Hole. So I put a Hobbit Hole in the side of this mountain, and that's pretty much where I got established, and yeah, getting some resources. I dug a mine and all that good stuff before starting my very first project. So this is where pretty much it all started, this mountain here. So let's go ahead and go inside, and I'll give you guys a tour around and show you everything. We'll start at the mines and probably work our way out from there. So yeah, the Hobbit Hole was around here. So it was just literally a door, and a wooden door in the side of the mountain that went in, and yeah. But it's come a long way. So recently I did renovate this base here. I actually left it in 1.7 to move 4,000 blocks away, and I made it look abandoned. Like, yeah, really abandoned. I put some vines everywhere, broke everything. But recently in my main Let's Play series, I come back and we all fixed it up and got it ready for this world tour. So I put the Hobbit Hole through here, and this is the mine here. So this is where all my resources for all my farms come from originally, not in the new section, but originally. So I think we're going to start in the mines and then sort of work our way up. It's probably a good idea. So yeah, I dug straight down, and I know you're not meant to dig straight down. So after setting up all my furnaces and doing that, and I dug straight down and started a mine at level 12, and a diamond mine, and yeah. So once we get down here, I can show you how large it is. It's actually quite large, quite a large diamond mine. Well, you get other resources too, but okay. So all right. So that's the way down. Now I dug this out later on in the series. I didn't dig it out right away. I just put a hole straight down and a ladder going straight up, pretty much where the lava is now. And then, later on I sort of carved out this big square tube going down here. I was actually going to hook it up to the surface to get rid of all this void fog. If you did not know, if you have natural sunlight leak through down this far in the mine, you will remove all this nasty black void fog here. Okay, so let me show you around the mine. There's not really much to show, but as you can see, some of these strips go for thousands of blocks, and the amount of live streaming I have done down here was pretty insane. It was good. So some of these strips go for thousands of blocks, which is cool. But hello slime. Just make sure I get my sword out, try avoid him. As I come over here, I've actually sunk some oh, he's gonna try attack me here. Let me take care of him. There we go. All these little slime balls. There we go. All dead. All dead. Oh, so I've sunk these natural light vents to get rid of all the void fog, just to show you how large the mine is here. So this here is where all the original resources come from to build all my massive farms, because my fans know me as a build big or go home sort of guy. I always build crazy big farms. So this here is where all the resources for all my farms come from. So if you had some sort of world edit program and you looked under this world, like MC Edit, you'll notice these strips. They go from 500 blocks, 1,000 blocks, 2,000 blocks. They're quite long. I normally do multiple runs in the same strip, and as you can see, a lot has been mined out here. But yeah, this is my very first ever mine shaft. And as I said, I've done a lot of live streaming down here. So as we walk away, this void fog is gonna reappear. So yeah, as you can see, oh yeah, I should have put more vent lighting down here. But yeah, quite a lot of diggings. Now I can't imagine how many picks I've lost down here. Okay, so also down here we've got a unloading machine. What I come up with early on in the series, it was actually very early on in the series, is when I was mining, I wanted to put items away quicker, so I ended up coming up with this system here. And what I would do is, after a mining strip, I'd walk back and I'll just unload all my stuff in there, like all the ores that I got, and minecarts back here, which I'm just gonna break into. Minecarts back here, stored here, would come down the tracks here and fill up the mine, take all the items. And what that will do is shoot off back upstairs, like far up, way up in the stairs. And it will go to your automatic storage system and unload by itself up there, which was quite good. So you could continue mining without going all the way up and sorting all your stuff out. That was the whole key goal to this here. But sadly, it does not work due to renovations a long time ago. Actually, cut it off. I left it here. Yeah, I did. I left it here. And even though I could get all my resources back, but I left it here because it was quite cool. And I did actually promise my fans at one point I was going to restore it and make it modern because, as I said, it was built quite a lot of patches ago. Okay, so what else is down here? We've got the Obsidian Generator, which a lot of my fans know exactly why I built this Obsidian Generator so long. So what actually happens is lava comes down, and this redstone here will turn into obsidian. So it's an Obsidian Generator. If you didn't have redstone here, or something to sacrifice, you need to sacrifice something. It would just turn into cobblestone or stone, so which is not a good thing. So this hallway here is actually 64 blocks long. Oh, a little bit bigger, I think. I think I went 70. I'm not 100% sure. I cannot remember that far back, but it was quite early on that I built this. And this is to get as much obsidian as I needed for my gold farm, which we're going to be doing a tour soon. You're going to see the gold farm, like, that's why your Obsidian Generator is so large. It would have been a lot easier with a beacon and all that down here, but I didn't. I mined it all without, just probably with some efficiency picks, and it took quite some time to get to the amount of obsidian I needed. But I built it down here out of the way, which was good. And back here, if I break the wall here, back here used to be a storage room, which I've sealed off, as you can see. There will be chests here full of obsidian normally. And yeah, that's where I was storing the redstone for it and the obsidian. Now, originally this all was dispensers, but when I got more iron, I transferred them over to pistons, because dispensers actually have a glitch sometimes. Doesn't matter how much delay you have. When you press the button and it spits out the lava to create your obsidian, sometimes it does not suck the lava back up, you see. So it was causing problems, and I ended up switching out the dispensers for good old-fashioned pistons, which gave me no trouble at all. No trouble at all. It doesn't look nicest, but it gave me no trouble at all. Okay, alright, so yeah, Obsidian Generator, I think I've shown you everything. Actually, if you probably dig around back here somewhere, you might find some old tunnels. Yes, you do. Some old tunnels back here. Because, yeah, I dug in each direction, but some of them are sealed up and lost, and wow, yeah, you probably find a lot of tunnels around here. Back here, no. One of these back, there's actually a large room carved out. I did have plans for it. It's probably up there. Not 100% sure. But that's everything down in the mine shaft. Yeah, everything down in the mine shaft. Let's go ahead and go back up here. Alright, yeah, so it's a shame that I didn't end up putting the skylight in to get rid of the void fog at some point, because this here was a room by itself. This was cut off. I had a wall here and a door here, and and it was all cut off. It was a room on itself because it was ugly, you know, before I took down the wall and renovated the place. But yeah, it was meant to have a skylight at some point. Okay, so let's go upstairs really quickly. Not much to see up here. This is where I planted pretty much all my crops and stuff. So before the patch came in, because this wasn't a snowy mountain, as 1.7 rolled in, it you know, changed the generation, and all these mountains that were just plain mountains, just sort of plains mountains, turned over to snow, like snow mountains because of the peaks. So yeah, it was kind of a bit of a pain in the backside, but there's water in here, and there was watermelon growing, and sugarcane used to be over here. And speaking of the rain, here comes the snow. Actually, let's put my bed down here and make it all daytime and no rain, no snow, because rain's a little bit of a pain in the backside. Pick that up. Okay, so here used to be a stream as well. Sugarcane used to be planted along here because I was gathering sugarcane for a big project that was upcoming, which most of my subscribers know exactly what big project that was, which we'll be checking out soon. Just carrots and stuff and seeds. Yeah, as I said, I did actually plan on doming this at some point. I was going to dome it and build like a greenhouse up here to grow all my plants and stuff before I went large scale. And this here's just a lock. This locks the door so no nasties can, you know, press those pressure plates and come in and do nasty things to you while you're AFK. Because sometimes those nasties will wander onto those pressure plates and then they'll come on through. Okay, so we've already been down to the mine shaft and been upstairs. Well, not up on top of the mountain. I think we'll go upstairs now, show you the bedroom and stuff. So this part of the base has not changed much. Has not changed at all. We've got a little balcony up here, which I started the thing off so you could you know, look around at all your things. Like my gold farm in the distance looks gorgeous, and yeah, there's all the obsidian that I farmed there. Okay, so let's go back inside. And we'll go upstairs real quick. Okay, so the first room here was the Changelog Room, it was called. Now, what the Changelog is, because I always offered my world for download, for people to come explore and blow stuff up, whatever they wanted. And I always put signs on the wall saying, you know, added this farm, tweaked this, changed this. It was the Changelog Room. I put all these signs in here, had a door here, but I ripped all those out and yeah, just turned it into a basic room. So this is my bedroom, nothing fancy or anything. It was, yeah, it wasn't anything flash. I do like my bed though. Problem is you can't sleep in it because it won't set you home anyway, because it's quite a large bed. You need to have nothing beside your bed to set you home, or else you will spawn back as spawn. There's nothing huge upstairs to see. So let's wander on downstairs here. So the portal really hasn't changed. It's changed in size, but it's never changed its location. As you can see the roof here, this actually used to be a separate room a long time ago. As I said, everything was separated before I carved it all out in the recent renovations and made it one large room to make it a lot easier and a lot nicer. So the portal really hasn't changed. I had a switch here at one point to close off doors and stuff. So let's go ahead and go down here. This room here. So this room here is my enchanting room, and it's got a nice view of the mountains and such, which is quite cool. Enchanting table, and I used to have enchantment books in there. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. But what was cool is I had this thing called the XP Booth, and what that actually is you used to be able to step in here, and you hear all that firing. That used to be full of bottles of XP, you know, the stuff you get in creative mode, but you can get it legitly in survival if you trade with villagers. That's the only way you can get bottles of XP in survival. So I used to trade with villagers, and I used to fill these dispensers up, and if I wanted 30 levels, I would just have to come in here, stand in here, watch until I got my 30 levels, and did my enchanting. That's how it used to work in here. It was pretty cool. It was called by the XP Booth. Quite cool. So that room hasn't changed much over time. Also, where this pigman's actually standing here, I'm not going to hit him or anything. We don't want any trouble. Used to be a brewing room in here, where I used to brew stuff as well. As I said, everything was sort of closed off until I opened it up. That's the back. We'll go back there shortly. So let's go back down to the crafting area, okay? So down here is the crafting area. Now this is obviously where I craft and do all sorts of good stuff, you know, craft and yeah, my disintegrator where we can disintegrate stuff. It's quite basic, but back here we've got a massive item storage system. This will automatically sort your items out and put them in the right chest. So, you know, cobblestone, it would be labeled. All this would be labeled, but I've taken it all down. And there's nothing in these chests because when I moved base, of course I took all my items with me. But these lights here also indicate, like full indicator lights saying, hey, this section's nearly full and you need to get some more space. But there are some stuff still left in here, no important stuff, but this goes all the way back here, and I've forgotten a number. Like, we always used to give a number to how many separate items this thing could hold, but wow, you needed to be rich. It was quite along in the series before I could build this system here, which, yeah, you need to have a bunch of iron to even think about going down that path. Back in the old days, like when I first put my Hobbit Hole, actually on top of this, there used to be an old chest room with just the manual way of putting stuff in chests, just chests next to each other. That's pretty much all it was. Now this here is the industrial furnace, small industrial furnace. So what would actually happen is this is your input. You'd put items in here, and that would go up an elevator and separate and drop into all these furnaces here, and it would pretty much automatically cook them all down and then put them into a chest over here. As you can see, we've got some stone here, and you could switch the switch to pretty much unload it automatically into the item storage, the item sorting storage system there, or you can just keep it in the chest. Now, most of the time when you're smelting stuff, you need it right away, right? So you just make sure that switch is always switched down, and then, yeah, the hopper underneath will never be able to take the items out for you to go chase back down wherever they sort them out to. Okay, so that's quite cool. We'll go see the redstone out there in a little bit, but also this is the miscellaneous section. Anything that does not get sorted in the automatic sorting system here will end up in the miscellaneous. So if you haven't got items added to the sorting system, then it will end up in the miscellaneous section, which is quite cool. This was a lot larger at one point, and I'll show you what I mean. We're going to break in somewhere down here. If I can, here we are. Perfect. So recently this section was sealed off. Once I moved base, I sealed it off. So we'll come down here. So down here, this used to be the second floor. Yes, the second floor to the storage system that I had, doubling the size so I could put more items in. But when I moved, I didn't have enough resources to start a brand new an entire sorting system all over again, so I decided to rip it all out. I ripped out all the hoppers and chests, and I took it all with me, which is fantastic. So here used to be the miscellaneous section, so all the items that used to not get put into the right chest ended up in this section here. But when I abandoned this section to take all the resources, I ended up not actually using it anymore, so I ended up sealing it. Completely sealing it, so nobody could see it or find it. But yeah, I've now we'll seal that back up. There we go. Fantastic. And all I did was cut off the hopper line that used to go underneath and keep going and just feed it into this. So this is the miscellaneous. So this system still works. I didn't actually pack up the entire system. I thought it would be kind of sad just disintegrating the whole lot, you know, taking it all with you. So I decided to keep a system, one of the sorting storage systems up here. So I think before we go down there, we'll go up here and I'll take you to all the redstone stuff. So this is I would call it the maintenance area. So let's go back here. So this is the maintenance. This ain't meant to look pretty. They're meant to be a door back there, and yeah, it's not meant to look pretty. So this room here was recently fixed up. This room here was the original storage system. I had actually chests, trap chests, and all along here I had chests and stuff. So a long time ago, that was a very long time ago. And then once it got converted, this room here if I can open it up, I might be able to show you. There it is. So that down there, this used to be the minecart system that went down to the mine shaft. So I dug holes on both sides. So there's another one here. I'm not going to do too much damage. So there's another one there. And it's like a spiral minecart system that goes all the way down to the mine shaft. Now, remember that minecart unloading system I showed you before to take all the items up here? This is where it came. It used to come up here, and there used to be an unloader here on both sides, and it would drain into the system, so you wouldn't have to do anything, which was quite cool. But I took that out quite some time ago. Like, the system was still here recently, but I took it all out because when I put the stables in of the base, I ended up cutting through it, and yeah, all sorts of problems. So I ended up having to ditch that. So if we go down here, we'll be able to see some real crazy stuff down here. So this is all the redstone. Let's see if I can get up here. These are all the redstone for the storage system / industrial furnace. This is the industrial furnace, and there's another sorting system there. Used to be able to put coal in the same line as the input, and it would sort out the coal into the right section to power the furnaces, or fuel the furnaces, which is cool. So I didn't have to have a separate input area, which what I was going for. The old-fashioned item elevators here, which creates a little bit of lag, but that is what creates all the lag around here. You have that sucker going now. Oh, wow. You're going to have a bunch of lag. So let's go ahead and get back up here. I only sealed this off to make this room look pretty. Trust me, this room did not look... Crikey, this room did not look pretty before. Yeah, I'll put these back down here. Good stuff. Okay, so the reason why I needed access back here is because when you want to add an item to the actual sorting system itself, you would have to come up here, click on this hopper, and add your diamonds, which is good. Actually, I should have taken those diamonds. Holy smokes, there's emeralds, redstone. So yeah, so what would actually happen is item will travel along and go down into this section here, and anything over the 18 here, so if it went to 19, it would drop down into the sorting system. And yeah, it was quite cool. And if this system fills up, I think these are 4 chests back here that it fills up to. If it fills up to this last hopper here, it will give you a warning light saying, hey, I'm almost full. So if you wanted to add some new items, you would just come up here and find a hopper with nothing in it. Holy smokes, I should have drained some of these out when I moved bases, but I didn't. Because sometimes I had snowballs. So when a set slot here was didn't have any items in it, it would have snowballs in it, so items will just skip over the top of it, or else items will just flow into it, and you don't want that. You want items to go to the miscellaneous section of that. Alright, so let's continue on. If you want to know how to build this automatic sorting / storage system here, I'm pretty sure I have a tutorial somewhere on it. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want some details on actually how it 100% works. Okay, so let's go. I think the last section of the base we need to go to. It's currently nighttime outside. The last section of the base, that was an addition quite a long way down the series, was this section down here. Now this section down here is my trading hall. I did a showcase video. All the sections I visit, I will link in the description below. And nearly every farm here on all this has showcase videos. So if you want an in-depth how everything works, all the redstone works, click on them, because normally I do a lot more explaining on how the redstone works in all those videos. So as you can see, this is my trading hall here. Now what a trading hall is there's a breeder upstairs, right? The breeder will breed villagers, and it will drop them down in here, and it'll put them into separate cells. So we could click on this guy and, you know, find the trades that you want to keep. And if you don't want to keep a trade, no problem, I have a button for that. Press button, and yeah, so it's that one for that one, that one for that one. So if you don't want to keep the trade, you press the button, and what actually happens is this cell resets, allowing another villager to drop down in its place eventually once they breed. See, some of these trades are absolutely garbage. Now, this is where I got all my bottles of XP from, and to put in that room. So all these should be full at the moment because this has been long abandoned. I don't have any super unlocked trades here. At one point, they were all killed and re-put in the system. So yeah, so there's not great trades here, and you could just literally kill a bunch of them. Now, you're probably wondering, where do they go, Data? Do they get killed? Well, let's go down and find out. So, I actually have a dungeon, a torture dungeon underneath this, which was in the showcase, same showcase video as this. I have a torture dungeon down here. Now, what this actually is a place where it sends on the villagers. So, we could put holding tank on. So, if any more villagers come down, it will hold in this tank here. And what would actually happen is you would select your way of torturing them, right? And I've built cells over here. So, at the moment, it is, what? Fire! So, they will be sent to the fire cell for torture. And I was planning on building this big. Like, anything your imagination runs wild when it comes to torturing, right? Build the cell. Build the cell. So, each one of these is, yeah, you got torture. You could just, as I said, you just, you flick whatever cell. Let's say cactus. Unflick that one. And the light up here will also indicate what cell is selected, which is really cool. So whatever's in the system will continue to drain out here until you release more guys into the system. So if we untick that one, and more guys will come into the system, and they will go into the cactus cell next, which obviously they'll run around and do lots of damage to themselves. And back here, this is an arrow cell. What an actual arrow cell means is there's dispensers under here full with arrows, and as they run around on the plates, they all die. Okay? I'm so mean. Oh, crikey. So yeah, I was planning at one point to extend this and help get my subscribers to suggest more ultimate cells of torture, and I was going to upgrade this system to a button pressing system, and holy smokes, you know, had a long way. So we can go back here and I can show you the rest of the room, because we dug out quite a big room. Here's the rest of the room here, and that water line there is the actual line for the villagers on top of us. And as you can see, these are the systems behind everything. It's always ugly when you come to behind all the systems. And up here is just a viewpoint so you can see the water canals. There we go. So that's where the piston is. You press the button and the village will fall down into this canal here, going to the holding room, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and get down. Alright, so I forgot to mention back here, this is where, if you don't select any buttons, like any of the torture devices, any overflow will end up in this lava pit here. Okay? So as I said, I built this room quite large. I never ended up filling it up. I was meant to have two sides eventually. So we got torture chambers on this side. We got torture chambers on that side. And that was the plan. But it never went that far. Always got stuck into another project and never sort of come back to visit old projects. That was the way I was all the time. I know it's bad. But any overflow will get stuck into the cell unless you leave the holding tank off. Okay, so if you leave all these off, then they will just go into the lava pit. But I'll close that up. Alright, so let's go back upstairs. And I think that is it for when it becomes the base. Yeah, we tackled everything, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, this is the villager trading hall here. As I said, showcase link video if you want it more in depth. Actually, we'll go around the back. I'll show you guys a little bit of the redstone. I won't explain too much. If you want it explained, go and watch the showcase video. Alright, so let's go back here. This is just more redstone and back. Yeah, see, this is all the redstone back here. And we come up here, and this is the redstone for each cell. This is how they get put into the cells and the resets and all that good stuff here. There we go. Alright, so nothing pretty to look at back here. Lots of dripping water. Alright, so yeah, I think that is it when it comes to the base. I think I've got every room. There is probably some more hidey holes, if I can remember where they all are. I think at one point I hit a ravine under my base. I'm not even sure where that is. I think it's behind this wall here. Yes, it is. I thought so. I can remember that. Holy smokes! And I promised I would go explore this at some point, because I did hit it. See all that over there? But I never ended up when exploring this. I was going to use the ravine for something. I just can't remember what. Do I have any scaffolding to get myself out of here before a nasty decides to come along and do nasty things to me? Alright. Yeah, no, I think we covered everything when it comes to the base. We're going to move right on to our first farm, I think now. I think we're... Oh, no, there's one more thing I need to show you guys. Down here. Now, this was added when horses were added in a later patch, you see? So this is my stables down here, which was based off a fan of mine. A fan of mine suggested using this design here, which was really cool design. I liked it when he showed me, sent me the video for this. I'm like, wow, I might use that. So I ended up using it. But yeah, you just ride your horse through this big door here. This door goes to the outside. Okay, there's the front base there. You ride your horse into here and you ride him into the chamber here. You make sure that you're building this extra high, so when you get off, you don't glitch through the room. You just come out and you press the button. That will close up, and the horse will sometimes stick its head out, which is quite cool. And yeah, I had 6 chambers altogether, and I had problems doing this chamber at some point because it was hitting the back of this chamber here is actually hitting the crafting room. Yeah, it's hitting the crafting room. Alright, I think I covered every single room, every single drop of the old base, as this is called. We will be checking out the nether very shortly after we move on to the very first farm I ever created in my main series, which was the spiral potato tower. That big butt ugly thing over there. Alright, so we're going to pause it here. This is where it's going to go into part 2. I'll leave a little, like a clickable link, either in the description below or a box somewhere on the screen right now saying part 2. Click that to go to the next part of this world tour, and we will continue right on. Click the button. Yes, somewhere there. There's a button that says next video. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.